I'm here with Chrystian Dozza, who just gave an incredible concert last night to a sold-out auditorium. We had 200 people there, full house, and yeah, great fun. Did some solo, did some duos, trios, and quintet performances with the Melbourne Guitar Quartet. So great night and a lot of fun. And we're just going to do an informal chat this evening. Before Chrystian heads off tomorrow, you're taking the night bus tomorrow night, heading up to Canberra.
Yeah.
And then you'll be going to Sydney and then doing some other things. Perth, you're playing in. And then up to Queensland to do some recording with Karen Sharp.
Yeah.
And that's a brand new CD that will be released next year. And Chrystian is actually going to launch that CD with Karen at our festival next year in September. So that'll be something really special. We'll have Karen Sharp and Chrystian performing duo. So really looking forward to that. And just to set the topic for today's conversation, we had a lot of requests from our subscribers to have a chat about your approach to composition and how you go about creating a piece, arranging music, and yeah, we'd just love to hear a little bit about your process. Yeah.
Some secrets will be revealed.
Yes. Great. So, and if anyone has any questions while we're going along, please comment below. And also, if the audio levels are not loud enough, please also comment below if you want either of us to speak a bit louder if it's not coming through. So I guess we'll start off by talking about what inspired you to write for guitar. Have you always been a composer or were you more a performer early on and then turned to composition? How did you start composing?
Well, I think composing and writing new music for the guitar, especially solo guitar, always was very natural, you know?
Yeah.
Since the beginning, since I started studying the classical guitar at the university and playing all the traditional repertoire, the great composers and all the masterpieces, you know, it was always a natural process, and playing those composers, playing those masterpieces, and it was always a lot of inspiration, you know?
Yeah.
So just by playing their music, since John Dowland, maybe the guitarists, composers, you know?
Yeah.
So John Dowland is one of the first. He played the lute, but it looks like he was a good player.
Yeah.
And he could write good music as well. So if we think about the Baroque period, we have like Sylvia Leopold Weiss, which is a great composer as well, and he looks like he was a great player. And in the classical period, one great inspiration is Fernando Sor, the Spanish composer. I think he's the best of his time. He's very sophisticated, very elegant, you know, the way he writes music. And of course, in the Romantic period, we have Tárrega, who started exploring more the guitar, all the elements of the guitar itself. And of course, at this point, thanks to Torres, the guitar became like we have nowadays, isn't it? And maybe speaking about Barrios as well, since after the Tárrega, it's a great inspiration because he wrote his own music and he played his own music. He toured a lot. He toured in Brazil a lot.
Yeah.
And so with the Brazilian composers, maybe the big boss is Villa-Lobos, Vitor Villa-Lobos. And there are four guys who I really love the music, and I'm lucky to have their friendship as well and their support. And they are Paulo Bellinati, Marco Pereira, Sérgio Assad and Paulo Porto Alegre. Paulo Porto Alegre was my professor for 2 years.
Yeah.
But we used to study just the classical guitar, the traditional repertoire. But I remember sometimes I wrote some new stuff for the guitar, and I used to play to him, and he was always like support me a lot, and this is very nice, keep doing. And that's one of the things I think it's important about writing music for the guitar. Is just keep doing, keep trying, because sometimes I think after we play all the beautiful pieces by great composers, I remember I played at the university, I played pieces like, of course, pieces by the Spanish composers, Leo Brouwer, the Cuban, another great one, and English music since John Dowland to Benjamin Britten, the nocturnal after John Dowland. I used to play. It's a masterpiece. And sometimes I think we are not encouraged like to write music, because we start playing such a beautiful stuff and such a like well constructed material that we start like we can do this, It's very difficult. We can do. My music is not good enough to. I think we become very shy about composing for the guitar. But in my case, it was a natural thing always, and I just can't. I can't stay without playing and writing my own music. I need to write new music. I need to play and I need to record.
Great.
And keep working.
So that gives me a few questions listening to all of that. So firstly, just going back, when did you first start playing guitar? And when you picked up the guitar, did you start learning classical guitar from the very beginning, or was it only later on when you did classical? Because you mentioned a lot of classical composers that influenced you and classical music, and you studied classical guitar at the university. So I'm just wondering, how old were you when you started guitar?
I was about 12, I think, and I started playing the acoustic, playing chords. And after that, I started playing the electric guitar. And of course, all the rock bands, all the guitar heroes, lots of them. And maybe maybe thanks to those guys, thanks to the rock guys who sometimes mix the classical music with rock, I got really interested about the classical, that beautiful sounds, but I think that I start like really being interested about the classical approach, like the time I heard for the first time a Brazilian guitarist called Guilhermando Reis. Guilhermando was a very popular guitarist in Brazil. He used to play on the radio in the time of our fathers, and he was very popular in Brazil. He used to play the steel string guitar, but very expressive way, like Segovia, lots of vibratos and glissandos. And I remember the time first time I heard Guilhermando, it was like, I need to learn how to do this, And I moved to São Paulo to study
Yeah.
the classical guitar and to make my bachelor's degree.
Great. And were you composing from when you in your rock days and electric guitar? Were you always writing back then, music and riffs and things like that?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Always.
So it's been something that you've grown up with from the very beginning with the guitar,
Yeah,
writing music.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you've drawn on all these different styles, the folk roots of Brazilian music,
Sure.
all the different Brazilian rhythms with rock music, and then all your influences of classical music, which you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I mix everything, and that's what I like to do.
Yeah, and we heard one of those mixes last night with samba rock.
Yeah,
one of the pieces. So
it's one of the most recent compositions.
And did you win an award for that one?
Yeah. I just won a competition. It's a competition for guitarists and composers.
Yeah.
In Brazil, and they received like more than 100
entries,
compositions.
Wow.
And I was very lucky.
Congratulations! It's a great piece.
Thanks a lot.
A lot of fun. So I'm just going to check the comments on the live stream as we're going, just to make sure that everything's going okay. We've got William from Luthia's Lounge saying, "Hey guys, great concert last night." And do you draw on any one particular kind of inspiration for your compositions, or does it vary? So I think we might have answered that as we were talking, how you get a lot of inspiration from different musical styles.
Any specific composition?
Anything specific?
I think I just try to be honest, with myself, and if you want to write music, you need to find your way and do not try to like imitating any, you know. Of course, we have lots of inspiration.
I'll make a joke almost now. Try not to imitate anyone. Like a lot of your pieces that we heard. Imitation in a good way, though. I love your
homage.
Homages. We did. We were. Yes, we were. You do draw on the great composers like Villa-Lobos and Bellinati as well in your compositions. If those are unfamiliar with some of Chrystian's works, a couple of your studies, Etude 1 and 2, are homages to Villa-Lobos' studies and all of that.
This is important. If you want to do a homage, be clear about
it. Be clear about it.
But
don't copy and pass.
Just start writing a homage to another great composer, who's Bellinati. Paolo Bellinati, very good friend. By the way, you must know the piece we played yesterday
at the end of the tango, Ginastera's Dream.
No, I mean the Baião de Dois, Baião de Igude. We played yesterday. The Bellinati. I just started to develop a maracatu. Maracatu is a Brazilian dance, but it's a kind of blues form. And I already have the name. It's Bellina's Blues. Bellina is like a short name for Bellinati. We call him Bellina. And it's, for example, do you remember the Baião de Gus? There is a there's just a So I took just this little motif. But I put some slurs. And I start like developing maracatu. started.
Great.
Maybe I will use some loop pedal as well.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about this.
That's great. So you just get an idea or theme, and then everything starts to build around that. And that becomes the basis of some of your compositions. Yeah. And I got a little bit confused before with the names, and you were saying, "Oh, remember we played last night." The quote from Bellinati was from the trio we played, not Ginastera's Dream. Wasn't it the quote at the end? The Maraca Fugue or Preludian? Maraca Fugue. Yeah. That's the quote from Bellinati.
Yeah, exactly. Like this, the etude number 1.
Yeah.
I use just the last chords. I use the 2 last chords of Villalobos. Etude number 1.
A question about when you start developing those pieces, do you work just a lot from memory, or do you have a pen and paper and you write down as you go, or do you just kind of play around, like memorize it, and then later on when it's more developed you get around to annotating? How do you write or as you compose?
Yeah, there's no an specific way, but mostly the solo guitar pieces they start like by improvising, you know, by improvising, trying different stuff. It's all about experimentation. I experiment a lot, especially the solo. And when I write some for chamber music, like even a guitar duo, if there one guitar more, I prefer doing on the paper. You know. And of course, it's not a rule. Some things I can imagine it and go straight to the score. And but some things I try on the guitar as well. And imagine a second line, for example, Northeast Skies is just it's a melody and a accompaniment. It's a simple texture. I had the chords and the melody came like and the chords playing in the rhythm of Baião, you know. So it's difficult to, but it happens all kinds of
ways. And does it vary depending on the style? If you're composing something in a more classical style, is your approach to composition then more thought out and structured compared to playing around and improvising, or do you still take that sense of improvisation to more classically inspired pieces that you compose?
No matter the way the genre of music, you know, no matter what, because I see mostly in the same stuff. For example, if I wrote, for example, a pavana, and which is very similar in a way, like with the Brazilian choro form or Brazilian songwriters form, like ABA or A, B, and C, you know, 3 parts, 2 parts. So I don't see many difference in a dance from Renaissance period and a Brazilian dance, you know. In a certain way, they are very similar.
And if anyone's watching and has any questions that you want to add, please shoot them through, and we'll get to them as well at the end of the session. We won't go for too long tonight, but do you have any tips or advice you can give to any composers out there?
Sure. First of all, pick up your... you have a joke with this.
Pick your favorite composer.
Pick your favorite composer.
Like Villalobos. Take your favorite piece from theirs. Or their most famous piece, the Etude 1.
A very popular piece like Etude 1, for example.
And then you just take the right hand fingering and just change the chords.
And change the time signature.
The time signature.
Yeah, but I think regardless any insecurity or any kind of doubt, just try. You need to try doing stuff and record yourself. Like try to and listen to a lot of music. Listen good music, no matter the style, different styles. But yeah, you need to have good references and and of course you need to study a little bit. Maybe I would like to recommend you thought about some books.
Yeah, or recommendations.
Yeah, I remember. I would like to recommend one book from by Marco Pereira about Brazilian rhythms, because beside the Brazilian rhythms, the Brazilian rhythm itself, there are a lot of ideas about rhythm and harmony, you know, and also Marco wrote 3 books about harmony.
Yeah.
And especially for the guitar,
you
know. So you learn harmony since the basic stuff until the modal harmony, and yeah, he wrote 3 books. It's called Cadernos de Harmonia. I really recommend this, and I think he just released it in English as well. But it's really good. It's really good because you learn harmony, but thinking about the guitar, you know. So the idiomatic thing, which is very important for us, you know. You need to have good ideas, but think and how to play. It must be like not easy to play, but it should work on the guitar.
Yeah.
It should work. Sometimes lots of composers who don't play the guitar feel like, oh, I can't write anything because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So that's why we're here. The guitarist composers.
That's right. Yeah, because it's a notoriously difficult instrument to write for.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of non-guitar composers, when they write for guitar, they don't know where to start, like what's possible on the instrument. It doesn't make sense very much. And
I don't know why, but it happens.
So that'd be a great resource for non-guitarist composers to have a look at. It's great.
Yeah, any more advice? You need to try. You need to try. There's no specific rule, and
And I think we'll leave it there. It's a nice, I guess, overview of where you've drawn your inspirations from, what's inspired you, how you go about composing, and taking ideas and then improvising upon them to build pieces. And a great resource as well that you mentioned for composers out there to check out. And what's the name of that once more for people by Piera? The book,
the harmony one.
Yes.
Yeah, the harmony. Yeah, we should write it down.
Right.
And Cadernos de Harmonia.
What's
and that? Cadernos de Harmonia is like harmony books,
Yeah.
And the rhythm is ritmos brasileiros. Brazilian rhythms.
Yeah, Brazilian. We might write.
Put some Google and translate for the Portuguese.
Yeah.
It's Portuguese, it's not Spanish.
Yeah, we might put that in the comments after this. For people.
Yeah.
Great.
Highly recommend. Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks a lot for the little chat, and
thank you for having me.
Enjoy the rest of your tour.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I must say thank you for the Melbourne Guitar Quartet.
Yeah.
The entire
good
crew. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
Yeah.
And very happy with the concert and with all the performance, all this special guests. The audience was amazing, and see you next year.
Yeah, see you next...
At the big festival.
Yeah, it'd be great. We'll see you then, Chrystian. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, everyone. I can see there's no more comments on there. Thanks for joining. All right.